Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to have the wealth mindset. How to have the wealth mindset. Because without having a wealth mindset, you're never going to be wealthy, no matter how hard you try. It's just going to be like putting water in a basket, it's not going to fill up. Now, how are you going to get a wealth mindset? It's very easy. You see, if you consider your mind is neutral. Your mind is neutral. Your mind does not know jokes. Your mind does not know lies. Your mind is neutral. So your mind believes everything. It believes everything. So for instance, if you ask a question, maybe you ask a question, how old are you? Maybe you want to lie. Your mind will first of all give you the right answer. And then it's your conscious man, your conscious person, your consciousness has to decide if you're going to lie and reject what your mind has told you. So your mind will always produce the truth. So you can actually hack your mind and then get your mind to be a wealth mindset. Look, if you go on Google, for instance, and then if you type in a parameter for a search, that's what it's going to give you. It depends on your parameters. Your search results depends on your parameters. So if you don't like the parameters of your search, if you don't like your search, then you got to change the parameters. Now, the same thing with your life. If you don't like your life, you've got to change your mindset. Your mindset are the sets of instructions that you give your mind to set it in a direction to go. So if you say to yourself, I'm never going to make it, your mind has heard that. Your mind does not know truth, it does not know lie, it just believes everything, and then it's going to manifest that in reality. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? Everything starts from the mind. So you have to adjust your mind because your mind controls your reality. A lot of people don't realize this, but most people on earth, they don't talk to themselves. They listen to themselves. So as you're walking about, your mind is speaking to you, and then you're listening to your mind. A lot of people they're not aware of that. And what is your mind telling you? Your mind is actually telling you what you have fed it, mindset. So the beginning of wealth adjustment, wealth creation, is to have a changed mindset. Now, it's so important because if you don't have a changed mindset, you're going to have an industrial age mentality. And that industrial age mentality is going to be telling you that if you want to get rich, you have to work harder. You got to work harder. And it's a lie. It's the biggest con. The wealthiest people on earth, they don't work harder, they work smarter. But then we've been brought up right from an early age. It's been drummed into us, and now we've accepted it. It's now part of our mindset, our paradigm. We believe that if you want to make money, you got to work harder. Now, imagine that you have a job. Imagine that you have a job. You are maybe a banker. You are a teller at the bank. And then the owner of the bank, or maybe your boss, he walks in and you see him with some nice crocodile skin shoes. Or you see him with some very, very nice Louboutins. And you like those shoes. And you say, oh my gosh, you know what, boss, I love those shoes. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If you work harder, your boss is going to be able to buy more of those shoes, but you won't be able to buy more of those shoes. Why? Because when you working, when you are employed, when you are an employee, your wages are fixed. So your wages are not tied to your efforts. Your wages are fixed. So that's why anywhere in the world that you go to, you find that civil servants are notoriously inept and lazy. Why? Because they're not motivated, because their income is not tied to effort, it's tied to time. So if you work for 1 week, you're going to be paid this amount of money. So when you go there, they have no motivation to put effort in, because whatever effort that they put, if you work harder or if you not work hard, you're going to get paid at the end of the month. And that's what it means to have an employee mindset. So you have to break out of that mindset. You got to break out of that mindset. And how do you do that? How do you break out of that mindset? Again, it's very easy. What you need to do is you need to tell yourself that I am not an employee. I am an entrepreneur. Say that in front of the mirror. Write it down and put that on your fridge so you can see it regularly. And then after your mind sees it regularly enough, maybe about a month, it starts to believe it. And then Next thing that you got to do is this: no matter how much you're earning or how little you're earning, you have to get something out of your income so that you can invest or set up a business. I'm going to say that one more time. You've got to get something out of your income so that you can invest or set up a business. You're going to ask me, but how can I get something? I earn so little. It doesn't matter. First and foremost, you have to take, what are my expenses? What are my expenses? So if you want to talk about your expenses are shelter, food, and then transport to and fro from work, and then clothes. So those would be your expenses. Those would be your necessities. Those would be your recurrent expenditure. Now, what you have to do is that you've got to subtract that recurrent expenditure from your income. And then whatever is left, you've got to invest it. You've got to invest it. Because there is no job on earth where you cannot learn and earn and then use what you earn as capital. There's no job at all, even if you're a bricklayer. If you subtract your expenses from your income and there's nothing left, it means that you're living above your income. So that means you have to reduce your standard of living so that you can actually get something out, because nobody has a duty to do it for you. You have that duty to do it by yourself. So now when you do that, when you're able to now separate your expenses from your investment money, then what you want to start doing is that you want to start going into investments. Now, the best investment that you can go in for, is to invest in the S&P 500. But here's the thing: if to invest in the S&P 500, the best way, because if you try to mirror the trades of established brokerage firms, established index fund firms, it's going to be very difficult for you. So that you might as well just give them your money to invest for you. But then a lot of these firms are going to tell you that, okay, you need a minimum amount. Usually it's about 500, but sometimes it could be 2,000. At most, it's maybe 3,500 to 5,000. But usually it's going to be about 500. Even if you don't have 500 from a single sitting of your salary or your wages, that's a single sitting of subtracting your expenses from your income, then what you need to do is that you need to save to invest. So you're not saving is not a good idea. However, if you're saving to invest, okay, then it's okay. So you save until you get about 500, and then you go with an index fund. So Vanguard Russell is a good one, but there are others. You can actually go on Google and then just search for people who invest money in the S&P 500 index, and then you go with one of them. But if you cannot do that, if maybe you tried and you're not able to meet the threshold, what you need to do then is you have to start investing your money into a business. No matter how small, invest it into a business. And there are a number of things that you can do. If you have like maybe $200, $300, that is enough money for you. If you live in a country in Africa or in Asia or in Latin America, that is enough money for you to go to a rural area, buy food, buy agricultural produce on the cheap, and then bring it to the capital or bring it to more urban areas, and then you sell it at, sometimes it is double the cost. It's something that you can do. Now, if you have a job, then you have to do that in your spare time, maybe weekends or your days off. If you don't have a job, it's something that you can do regularly. But if you just sit down and say, oh, poor me, I can never make it, that mindset is just going to adjust your life, and then you're going to have a reality that reflects that mindset. So it begins from your mindset. You got to flip your mindset. You got to change your mindset. Now, if you've watched this and you have questions arising from this, maybe there's some certain areas I haven't explained properly, then what you can do is put your questions in the comment section of this video. My staff are going to bring them to me, and I'll do my best to respond to each and every category. However, you got to remember that I do not have a WhatsApp forum, a Telegram channel, or a Gmail email address. Scammers see that my videos tend to go viral, so they created a number of fake YouTube profiles, and they approach people in the comment sections of my videos, telling them helpline, guideline, one-on-one mentoring, contact me for more profitable information. The minute you contact them, they're going to ask you to pay $1,000. If you pay, that's the last you're going to hear from them, and you start chasing me. You read Ronald Murphy saying you do me. No, I am the apostle of prosperity, and this is Ronald Murphy saying, God bless you.
I know travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is